Go
All right.
Eagles.
What's that? Go Eagles.
Go
Yes.
Eagles. I was trying to lighten the mood. We're already live. So
We are live now. Yeah, the Eagles are playing at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, yay. All right, we are live. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Power Hour 2.0. My name is Veronica. I will be your host tonight, along with my co-host, Miss Renee Rand, who is in Las Vegas, along with Miss Lisa Griggs, my other co-host, who is in Philadelphia. And we have amazing guests on with us this evening, and we're going to be talking about menopause in the lymphatic system. But you know what? We've got a little bit of good news, some exciting news. We hit the 761 mark. So super excited about that. Our numbers are increasing every day. Please make sure you share, invite, tell your girlfriends all about it. Scan that QR code over here. What? And we're really, really excited to have everybody here this evening. So this evening's topic is, we'll get into this, is about menopause, the inside and out, the aging process, and the lymphatic system. So, with that being said, menopause affects the lymphatic system due to the decline in hormones like estrogen, which can lead to fluid retention, impaired skin health, and changes in your immune system. So, decreased hormone levels can slow the lymphatic flow, and it worsens swelling and reduces the skin elasticity, while also impacting your immune cell function. So we have an amazing guest on here who are my co-host is going to talk to you about to support the lymphatic function during this time. You want to consider all these amazing things. And my co-host Lisa Griggs, please come in and tell us all about, who our guest is this evening.
yeah, thank you so much, Veronica. I'm so excited to introduce our guest tonight. She actually has known my father for many years. I believe over 30, Sheila. And I don't know if you'll tell that story tonight, but I just think it's such an amazing story because it just shows as a woman just the conviction, the certitude that you live your life by. I think it also shows that you're a woman that is so resilient in figuring out solutions. And I love that story. Maybe you'll share tonight, how you met my father. But I get to introduce you tonight, Sheila, and I'm so glad that you're with us today. I know you've had some challenges this last year. Almost lost your life in a I would say, well, kind of a boating accident, rafting accident. And I'm sure we'll be hearing about that. But let me just take a few minutes, everyone, to introduce you to Sheila because she is just such an amazing, amazing woman. And I've really connected with you, Sheila, just even on the spiritual side. And we had a moment this morning. We had a moment, of just realizing there's such a great need in the world, and especially just with regard to health and wellness. And I know we're talking about a product that is very near and dear to your heart today around the skin and the lymphatic system. But let me just say real quick that Sheila, okay, is an incredible formulator in the naturopathic medicine arena for over 30 years. So for over 30 years, she's been developing all these innovative health and wellness solutions for many, many people across the US, and I believe even across the world. Her credibility extends deeply into just the professional landscape, regulatory landscape. She was one of only two individuals in Arizona's history appointed by the governor to serve on the board of naturopathic medical examiners. Which is like just, it's very, very prestigious for Sheila, for you to be here today, knowing that, because I know that your time is very valuable. So thank you for that. She's also done a lot with perfecting natural health remedies, with doing very specific protocols, because she understands that the body is the miracle and not all bodies are the same in the way that they work the same. So she comes up with formulations that harmonize scientific integrity. She does it with holistic wisdom. And so her passion for wellness is matched by her heart of service towards humanity, which is what I love about you so much, Sheila, because I know that you really, really genuinely want to help people. You do all kinds of things. You're a big giver. You know, I know that you're working a lot with philanthropy. I know that you just bought land up in, I believe it's Montana, to do a big retreat center just to serve people and to help them get well. And today, I know that you're going to be speaking to us about your truth serum, which I'm sure Robert Ferguson, who's on this call, is going to love the name of that because he is another truth teller on this call today. So just excited to have you here and talk to us about conscious living and truth and vitality. So take it away, friend.
Okay, Lisa, thank you so much for the complimentary introduction. It always makes me blush, brings tears to my eyes like you did this morning already. And ladies, I have to congratulate you and all the beautiful work you've done and the contributions you've made. So really, it's an honor to be here. So I'm very thankful for all of you, Veronica, Lisa, Renee, for actually taking the time to understand the program and for allowing me to be a part of this journey. It just means a world to me, and I'm super thankful and feeling very blessed to be able to be a part of the journey with you. So thank you. Yeah. So
yeah, we love you, Sheila.
I want to touch, Veronica, you said a couple of things about the lymphatic system and almost verbatim to what I was going to say. But just to reiterate why it's so important, what does the lymphatic system do? Why is it so super important? And the main reason is because it clears the cellular waste and toxins. It supports your immune function and it really helps to regulate fluid balance. So, but you also need to know how to work it properly. There are roadblocks, if you will, in your system. So if you start in the wrong place and you start to try to drain a lymph from here, it's not going to go down quick enough. It's going to get a roadblock and it's going to stop. And this is why you're going to see a lot of stagnant lymph, and it accumulates. And that's what results in these under eye bags that you get, the droopy skin that you get, sometimes even brain fog, sinus congestion, and even tonsils get affected by it. So we want to try to improve that circulation and support liver detox. And then Veronica, that's where that you touched on. It's really important for estrogen metabolism because hormones rely on detox pathways. So if there's not a clear pathway, then you're going to run into symptoms of PMS and your skin's going to become, clogged, and you're going to have the acne issues and things like this. It's important that we understand that we never claim that lymphatic drainage or any serum is going to treat or cure or prevent anything, but we can safely say that healthy circulation, detoxing pathways brings you into hormonal harmony. So that's super exciting. So when you're doing the lymphatic drainage, you can do it throughout your entire physiology. However, today, we're going to focus on, from tip to the tip of your head to your clavicle or your SCM, your sternocleidomastoid. I can't say the word. SCM is what we're going to use. But let's talk about that. When you're using, Veronica, can you go down a little bit here? I can't. Yep. Well, let's touch on this a little bit before and after with the True Serum, and then I'll share with you a couple techniques to make sure that you don't have those under eye bags and make sure you don't get that double chin and the sagging skin. This is actually my daughter Tiana. She recently gave birth to her fourth baby girl, yay me, and she ended up with melasma, which is dark spots that occur after pregnancy. And you can see him, she tried to cover him up in the left photo with makeup, but you can still see, even with a deep foundation, the dark spots were still coming through. Her face was just really aging in this picture. And this is her, the third picture is her 10 years later than the middle picture. She just recently had her baby. So the melasma is already gone. All the dark spots are gone. Her lips are fuller. That's again another thing that has to do with lymphatic and facial massage. you're going to be able to get those beautiful lifted cheeks and fuller lips by the, we'll call it a Trinity treatment as we move forward. But you can see that. And then Veronica, if you go to the next one, this is a little bit embarrassing for me because, listen, I play the Native American flute daily, and I also hike, you know, about 10 miles a day, and at least between 5 and 10, well, before my accident. And so I would have a hydro pack on. So I'm constantly sucking on a straw, like, or blowing on a flute. And it created these lines that made me look like a avid smoker, like I'm smoking 6, you know, a pack a day. This is the next day or 2 days after, if you go to the next slide, the next night. Okay, this is after the lymphatic massage and truth serum and the brushing the next morning. And then a week after that, or 2 weeks maybe, if you go to the next one, you can see the nasolabial folds. This is really not a very good picture, but well, you can see them now maybe. I'm kind of in the dark, but the nasolabial folds and all of the lines are nearly gone. In fact, we met with some clients for lunch today, and they didn't even think it was me. They thought I was a teenager sitting at the end of the booth. So maybe not that up close, but anyway, just 2 weeks after, you can see there's hardly any wrinkles there in my lips at all. So, and again, this goes with the Trinity, or the 2 brushes and the serum, and we'll get to that massaging techniques and lymph drainage momentarily. Okay, well, right now, the SCM is right here, ladies. This is a big one because you've got to start, like I said, you have to start with your clavicle and your SCM, which happens to be right here. You will see it come out. If you turn your head to the side and look down, your SCM should pop out. If not, that means it's full of edema, it's got inflammation, and you need to start doing this religiously on both sides, of course. But listen, you put your, gently move your fingers onto your SCM, pull your head back to front, breathe, relax your shoulders. Remember, this is all about balance. So take a deep breath in and move your head up and down, all the while massaging this SCM, getting the edema and the fluid down into your clavicle. Now, once you start here, then you can move up to your nasal labial folds, which are right here. The best way to get massaging and get the drainage through your nasal labial is through your ring fingers, and just massage for 30 seconds in a circle, and that will start opening up the pathway and start draining down into here. Do you see where it's so important? You start from here and go down, go here and go to here, then go up here and go down, and then, well, the corners of your mouth. But there's the next photo, Veronica, shows a pathway. Yes, it shows a pathway that goes from 1 to 9, and so that you don't get a traffic jam in your face. Does that make sense when I say, I can't move this over? When I'm mentioning that if you start trying to drain your lymph system up here or right here, it's going to stop here, and you're going to get all the fluid, you're going to get sinus congestion, and it's going to stop there. So it only makes sense to go down. You know, as young women, we're always taught to always brush up, because you don't want to bring your skin down. Well, this is why initially you want to get rid of the lymphatic drainage going down from here down. And then what you'll do is grab your this is the lymphatic brush that you'll start with the Truth Serum package. And this is what you'll do. You'll pull it down into your clavicle, one of my clients uses 2, one on each side of her face, so she has 2. And then when you're finished with that, Veronica, I don't see the slide anymore. Is it there? Sorry, you guys, I'm not. Oh, here we go. Well, no, I only see Lisa. Anyway, I'll put it over here. I don't know where it went, you guys.
It's on my screen.
Well, it's not, you can see my screen. Anyway, once you get done doing the lymphatic drainage, you'll want to then 3 days a week, 4 days a week, maybe get rid of all that dead, dull skin that accumulates from environmental toxins and just being outside. Sometimes the air in and of itself is gotten so polluted that your skin takes the brunt end of it. We know that the skin is the largest organ in the body, right? So we need to take care of it from the outside in, not just from the inside out, which is where all the awesome nutrition that Mr. Ferguson is showing with, and Veronica, your nutrition program. But listen, so with it, now you've got your lymphatic or your exfoliating brush, and this is where you go up. You start with your neck and you go up now, and then your chin and your any of the lines. I love this brush. Your skin will feel so much just within 1 day. You're going to see a huge difference in this. Circulatory around your cheeks. Get your nasal labia lines in your nose, and just brush up, up, up. And then of course you'll want to gently, there it is. And then you'll want to gently rinse your skin. And I wish I could control this. Anyway, brush it with deliberate, gentle strokes with your exfoliating brush, and then rinse it with a general cleanser or a gentle cleanser. I know that we're familiar and we've heard of hyaluronic acid before, and I want to touch on this before I forget. It's really super important. Hyaluronic acid comes from the crown of a rooster, and True Balance has always been very animal friendly, vegan. And there's so many different types and weights of molecular structure, or kilodalton. There's so many different molecular weights of hyaluronic acid. That means the size of the molecule. So we use only botanical hyaluronic acid, which means it comes from plants and it's healthy, and it actually hydrates about 25% better than the rooster crown anyway. So that's super important to know, because hyaluronic acid will not attach itself to or help your skin unless there's already a water molecule on it. So for that reason, we have a pre-hydrating serum that you put on before. This happens to be Bulgarian rose water, and in fact, we imported the water from Bulgaria, and it's a pure form of rose water. So you'll want to spray that on. That also helps to massage your face. So once you put the last time we all had, were very vulnerable and had clean faces, and we did it together. But you'd want to spritz your face with this luxurious rose water. Renee, did you try it? Did you smell it? Oh my Lord. And for those of you that are familiar with frankincense, you either love it or you hate it. It's a miracle essential oil, so we do use that. The product, I think it smells great, but the rose water takes the edge away, and it is just super luxurious and awesome. All you ladies have a bottle coming, by the way. Now, let's get down to the truth serum real quickly, and let me give you a why, because I am an avid mountaineer. I like Lisa was mentioning, I did buy quite a large parcel of property. I do have a home in Montana, but just across the state line in Idaho is where I want to have a place for retreat, a place for women to be safe, to just lift up, and just all the things. I can't explain it. It's more of a feeling than a description when you're there, and when you're out and you're in the middle of, it's gonna make me cry. When I left a couple of months ago, I knew that it was a dream of mine coming from an accident that I was in that led me there. So they say that all good things, are come. I just couldn't understand why I was in another accident again, and my life was almost taken again. And what it did was it led me to this dream property where True Balance or Truth Serum was born. I have a little motorhome that I throw my dog Addie in the back of. And last year we just took 8 months and put my office in the front, and we just drove around the country about 40,000 miles. And I worked from there. And if you've ever been in a motorhome, the bathroom's about the size of an airplane bathroom. You can't turn around, let alone have a whole cabinet full of day serum, night serum, eye serum, SPF. I mean, there's no room for that stuff. So I started as a formulator. I just got the best of the things that I thought that I needed, and I put them all in one bottle, and I just shook it up really well. And that's what I used for 9 months. I just drove around the country with one bottle, and it just seemed like everywhere I went, people were saying, "Oh my gosh, your skin is glowing. What are you using?" And so I would just gift them some of my bottle, and then I'd mix another bottle. And then pretty soon everybody's like, "Oh my God, you need to bottle that. Where can I buy it?" So, so that's how the Truth Serum was born. And it's been absolutely fabulous. And where did that screen keeps popping away? But let me give you an idea of what's in it. It does all the things. Okay, here we go. Okay, the hyaluronic acid, we already know that that's the plumping, the skin, it helps skin cell turnover, it restores elasticity, it makes you plump and full, and so you're not withdrawn and sunken in. It has organic rose hip, which as you get older, and we're in our 6th decade, some of us, and if you've been out in the sun at all, you start to get these aging dark spots. And rose hip oil, not only is it great for dark spots, but it's also a natural retinol. So you get the natural retinol without the chemical. So the antioxidant, the fatty acids, the firming nutrition, and also for maturing skin. So now you've got the hyaluronic acid, the rose hip oil. And I think and I know Bernadette, I don't know if Bernie's on here or not, but a lot of folks were on the organic castor oil bandwagon, which I love. It's been used for, centuries in skincare because of its nutrients and fatty acids. And when you apply it to the face, it's got just benefit after benefit, just the castor oil in and of itself. It's also one of the stabilizers to carry the rest of the oils and the nutrients inside. Anti-inflammatory, antibacterial. So if you have acne, that's what the castor oil is going to do. It evens out your skin tone. So so that so all the makeup's not necessary. It takes away the rosacea, and it also supports collagen production, which we know that in and of itself is worth. Gosh, I quit taking collagen too. Frankincense, that is again, it's another essential oil that's been used for centuries, in not just for skincare but for a number of things. It actually can improve overall gut system because it's got diuretic properties to it. It removes toxins. It strengthens the respiratory system just by smelling it. So frankincense is one of those overall essential oils that has a myriad of benefits that you can use it for. Anti-aging, skin tone brightening. That also works with the aging dark spots. And then along with those 4 amazing constituents, we put in a proprietary blend of vitamin A, another retinol, vitamin B, vitamin C. We all need vitamin C for hydration. Green tea extract, olive leaf extract, and last but not least is the chamomile extract for calming of the skin. So those are the basic ingredients of the product itself. And the best part about it is we decided that we thought it should be at a price point that everyone can afford. So if you look at hyaluronic acid alone, I was paying, I don't even want to tell you what I was paying. It was ridiculous amount of money in addition to all the other bottles of stuff that I was carrying with me. But this truth serum is a 4-month supply. And if you bundle it with the Bulgarian rose water, the lymphatic brush and the exfoliating brush and the lymphatic brush, and this amazing microfiber premium headband, you get a 4-month supply, and it's only $149 on sale for Black Friday. But even still, just the truth serum alone for a 4-month supply on sale, $100 or $129.98. So it's a really good price. I think, ladies, that you were gonna have a QR code or something for that. But I'm happy to answer any questions. I know that it's a lot in a little amount of time, but please feel free to chime in and ask me any questions that you might have regarding the drainage, the brushes, the formula itself. Anybody?
Veronica, you're muted, and there are some questions in the chat.
I was going to say, Lisa, if you can read those questions, please.
Yeah, the first one comes in from Azra, and she's here with us today. She's asking, can one use the hyaluronic acid if they're using retinol? Is there any, and what about going into the sun? Any precautions there with the Truth Serum?
That's an excellent question, and thank you for bringing that to the table. Hyaluronic acid, it kind of has its tone because it has the word acid on it, when in fact it's a very delicate serum that's almost gel-like, and it has absolutely doesn't have any effect in the sun at all. And in fact, it works great with retinol. You should use it with retinol. We put vitamin A in there and the rosehip, which is a natural retinol. So you won't need to buy retinol anymore because it's already in the bottle naturally. Natural rosehip, natural vitamin A. Those are all retinols without the chemical. So you can toss the retinol out and you won't have to purchase it anymore. Excellent question.
Yeah, I love that question too, because I really love hyaluronic acid.
I do
too. I would love to know how many women or men are on this call, because I know we have some men here too. Robert Ferguson's here, which I'm sure he knows a lot about the lymphatic system. Also, John Ortiz is here, and I know that he had questions. I know that he's been conscious of his skin, but I would love to know if some of you ladies would just like send a heart or something, or I don't know, a hand up or something if you are using hyaluronic acid, because it does work very, very well. And I really love hyaluronic acid and vitamin C.
I use the Truth Serum.
Yeah.
I can tell your skin looks so
I
good.
love it. Yeah, and I'll tell you what,
so
when we were in London, we started using it back when we first did the presentation with you, Sheila, and we took it on our trip with us and been using it. I use it morning and night. I did have a little mishap, and I did get it too close to my eye. You don't want to do it because I was like, something gooky in my eye, and I couldn't figure it out, and just had to wash it out really, really well. But I love it. I have seen a difference in my skin, and have not really gotten into the whole lymphatic with the brushes and everything. So I have to start doing that. So yes, absolutely. But you do not, so we clarify, you do not wash with this. This is after you wash your skin, correct?
Correct. Yeah, you wash your face and then you spritz it with the rose water so the hyaluronic the water molecules can attach to your face.
So I have a question about that, Sheila, because a lot of times with regard to skincare, you have to have the pH balance a certain level in your skin, but they encourage that before you start putting on products. Does that matter much as far as what cleanser you're using? Like, does it matter if we're using Cetaphil or Neutrogena or something, that's not, that's more expensive? Does it matter to regulate the pH in our skin before we use Truth Serum?
You guys are really smart. That's a really good question too. I think that everybody's skin is different. Veronica touched on the fact that we build proprietary formulations after we see labs and take a look at everybody's overall physiology. And as you use a natural product like this, you're just like your physiology or your body, it comes into balance, as will your skin. You know, when you're using a lot of those highfalutin creams and cleansers instead of natural stuff, all it's doing is clogging your pores, and then of course you're never going to get the balance you need or want. That's why it's so important to start with the lymphatic drainage, then use your exfoliating brush. Oops.
It's okay.
to get the dead skin off and get it fresh and clean, and then spritz it, and really, ladies or gentlemen, use this as a moment to pay tribute to yourself. You know, relax, breathe, drop your shoulders, and use it as a spa treatment. I mean, with this, the serum in the package that you're going to have, it says right on here, rooted in nature, revealed in skin, and it's the truth. The truth, get it? Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. Anyways, once you finish with your first bottle, you're going to see a glow, a natural glow, because your pores will be opened and your skin will just be overall, you won't have the baggy eyes and the sagging skin and the double chin. You know, it will eventually just.
That was John Ortiz. He's not muted. It's okay.
Oh.
Okay, well, here's another question in the chat. Will it help with people who suffer from yellowing underneath the eyes? I would imagine that it even includes dark circles. That question came in from Ozra. And how does it affect people with oily skin?
Boy, everybody's skin is so different. So I don't want you to take this as gospel, because I don't know what your skin is or how it's going to react, because everybody's different. I can tell you from experience what I've seen. And my girlfriend, Anna E, has desperately oily skin. She has not been able to do anything in years, and she would get blackheads everywhere. Same with Tina. And she had white heads everywhere for years. Tina had them for at least 2 years, you saw her. And they both, Anna E and Tina both, started administering it. And you think sometimes because it is an oil base that it's going to make it worse. And their faces look amazing. And in fact, remind me, and so I can put their before and after on here, because Anna E is just, her oily skin looks glowing now. A lot of it, again, has to do with lymphatic drainage and getting the toxins out and getting it circulated. And of course, the brush, but all of the natural ingredients in the Truth Serum is what keeps your skin healthy and keeps the acne away. That's the frankincense, you know, the antibacterial, and the blackheads and the whiteheads and all of that. So yes, it's oil, but no, it doesn't create an oily skin at all. And then what did I touch on both? What was the other one?
Other one was underneath the eyes, like yellowing under the eyes or dark circles under the eyes. Will it help with that?
Well, usually yellowing is some type of a liver issue, usually in the eyes or around that area, but not always. That's just what comes to mind is the liver. And again, lymphatic drainage gets rid of liver toxins. I mean, you have to do it as an entire package. You need to do using one item. It just exfoliating isn't going to do it. Just limping isn't going to do it. You need to have the good products to put on after you drain the lymphatic system to help support that liver detox and to brighten it up. I can tell you for my own experience, I know for a fact that my eyes don't look sunken in like they did have, and that they are much brighter than they were a year ago. I've been using it for a year, so I just, it's day and night for me. And those of you that don't know me, I had the biggest pores that were just so embarrassing, and I couldn't even use powder or foundation because it just made them bigger and look terrible. And then being out in the mountains for a year almost, it's like only my dog saw me, so it didn't matter, right? So when I came back, I didn't even know they were gone. It's just like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So it's, you know, for what, $20 a month or $25 a month, it's worth a try. Just to, you would just wait till you see. That's all I can say. It just,
Yeah, 100% on that for sure.
yeah.
For sure. There's two more questions, and then I want to ask you one other thing, but there's two more questions here from Ozra. Ozra, you must really be into skin. This is very low-hanging fruit for you, Sheila, by the way. I would imagine if you can help people with their cancer and with their epilepsy, you could certainly help us get our skin in order. That's what I'm thinking. But what's the shelf life of how it should be stored, if this is paraben-free or fragrance-free?
2 years.
So 2 years and paraben-free, fragrance-free? I would.
It is, yeah.
Yes,
But
yeah.
it still has a shelf life of 2 years. Bacteria doesn't generally grow in oil.
Yeah, okay, okay. Well, anybody else, please put your questions in the chat. As I had said, I think this is relatively low-hanging fruit for you, Sheila, because, skin, when I think about the things that you're doing with epileptics, and I think about the things that you're doing with patients that have cancer, loving the skin that you're in seems like such an easy thing for you to formulate. Would that be true?
It was, because I took it for granted. I just took it for granted.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need this for my spots. I need this for my sunscreen. I need this for my big pores. I need this for my, I literally made it out of necessity because I had no room for, and plus I was being sold all this stuff. I'm like, well, I have bags under my eyes. I need that. Well, I'm getting a spot right here, which is completely gone, by the way, now. So I need something for that. And then I'm getting older. And so I earned my, wrinkles or whatever, but it's nice to have them softened without the use of toxins. And so, and being on the road, I wanted it simple. I don't have time for all this stuff. And it got expensive too. Everybody's telling me I need all this stuff because I'm aging. And I'm like, I just started mixing. And then of course I did different formulas with different ratios. And then of course, like I said, the other thing too is I don't know how many hyaluronic acids there are. There's tons. So
Yes.
after all the research on which one I'm in favor of not testing on animals. So
yeah,
that's why I chose the botanical hyaluronic, which works better anyways. Yeah. The hydration is much better.
Yeah, that is so awesome. So we have Mr. Robert Ferguson that joined us as well. He's been listening to this whole conversation. I don't know if you saw him there in the screen, but I did see his face pop on for just a moment, and then he went off camera, and he's just unmuted himself. But Robert, it's good to see you again, young man. We haven't seen you on camera.
This is a temporary camera. I'm testing it.
It makes you look more handsome. So I would stick with it. So Sheila's here, and I'm wondering.
So what did I look like before?
Still handsome, but now you're more handsome. How about that? Okay. So Sheila's on here, and you've just heard about her background. You came on the call right at the beginning. Actually, I thought you were going to be late today, but you've got to been hearing this conversation around the lymphatic system and the things that she's done in skin. And I was thinking you must have been having the same thought process that I did. Wow, this is pretty low-hanging fruit for her, with all the things that she's done, to help so many people. And I just thought that maybe you'd come on for a moment and just say hi.
Well, hello. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, finally.
Well, I was excited. I know part of your conversation is that you get into the endocannabinoid system. And some of the work that we're doing in a paper that I just read about the role of the endocannabinoid system in a whole bunch of problems. Actually, I was in a meeting yesterday with some of the top members from MAHA, and there's a big meeting taking place in DC tomorrow. And some of that whole endocannabinoid system is actually part of the discussion. So that got my attention. And then she also said, Lisa, that you're going to be talking about skincare, which we have a collagen that we recommend called Collagen Boost. And it does have 120 milligrams of hyaluronic acid in it. And it is botanical, just so you know. And it's a really good product. They should make it available to you. I would love to get your opinion if you were to take a look at it.
Absolutely. I would love that. I would love it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe if we have some there, Renee.
Is it a shot? Is it a drink? Is that?
Yeah, it's a liquid collagen.
Oh yeah, that's so much better than powder or pills or anything like that for sure.
Yeah, and it works very well. We've had nothing but positive responses about it. And in my collagen background, I actually introduced a liquid collagen back in 2010. And so I'm familiar with all the different types of collagen. And this one is one that works really well. It's a type 1-3. It's a marine-based collagen.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Yeah, what is that? Can I ask, what does that run a month?
It's only $59 a month. And what is very interesting about this collagen is that you only take it for 10 days a month.
Pockets.
So collagen boost, so you get that boost. And we know through many studies that when it's elevated, as far as through the fibroblast cells, it can stay elevated for 21 to 56 days.
Beautiful.
Which means it cuts down on the potential of someone becoming tolerant, like chondroitin sulfate or something like that. So I love it. So I take it the 1st through the 10th of every month. I'm actually taking it right now. I started the month a little late. And today is my other birthday, called the U.S. Marine Corps birthday. So Semper Fi, everybody.
Thank you for your service, my friend.
Whoop, whoop. Now, are we talking about the endocannabinoid system at all? Or did I get my hopes up?
Oh,
you know what? I think you can. You know what? Sheila, can I say something with regard to that? This is why I said, I think skincare is low hanging fruit for you. And I understand, why you've done that. But I think, Robert, Sheila and I had a moment this morning with Veronica where I had a total breakdown crying because I was like, I literally have talked to 5 parents this week that have lost their children to epilepsy. And one very recent that actually is not here very far from Veronica's house. Actually, we probably would have went to the memorial service if I would have known that she was that close to us. And I thought it was interesting because Robert wants to talk about the cannabinoid system. And I keep thinking that you and Dr. Simopoulos and Robert and Chip Paul need to get together and have a clinical trial around epilepsy. And I have not read the papers that he's talking about, but we will email them over to you. I will forward them to you. So Robert, I think since we have Sheila here, I think when this is being recorded, I think you should definitely have a conversation and we will all listen.
Well, it depends on where it's going. I mean, the little bit that I understand, if you're helping people with cancer, as I was given an opportunity once, and I can't think of the cancer the young lady had, but I know it was terminal, and I was on a TV show. We did 3 episodes. It was called Baked Out, which is an interesting title for a show. And it was all about the medicinal benefits of cannabis. And on the show, I was someone who was I didn't have much knowledge or understanding about the medicinal benefits of cannabis. And then my co-host was someone who enjoyed it from a pleasure standpoint and also had a strong belief in the medicinal benefits of it. So we represented 2 sides of it, as we still see today. Many people are against cannabis because of moral beliefs, how they grew up, what they think they know that they don't know.
Right.
And I know that you and Renee totally get that. And my eyes were open because we had this family who lived right down the streets from the Kardashians. So they had a ton of money. They lived in Calabasas, California, in Hidden Hills. So the money was like there. And the daughter gets this terminal cancer. And I know it was somewhere in her gut. And I wish I knew the name of it, but it was pretty rare. And so this is my first experience to see this from a medicinal standpoint. And I would love you guys to talk about it as I summarize this story. But in this story, which I could send you guys the whole video of it, the way it went was she wasn't going to live another 6 weeks. But her dad was totally against cannabis, or what he called marijuana. And I got to spend a lot of time talking to the dad. Well, what happened, she was in the room. Her sister snuck up into the room with a joint and lit it and was blowing it on her. And the dad said he heard his daughter laugh, and he hadn't heard that in months. And she got an appetite, and she started eating, and she went on to live 3 more years.
Wow.
Now, once I saw that and I got to meet her and hear the story and then upgrade my knowledge of the medicinal benefits of cannabis, I became a fan. And it also tied in with me greatly because of certain pathways in nutrition. There's a cannabinoid system,
Yes.
which I'm familiar with, but it really woke my eyes up and I looked at the cannabinoid system completely different with an expansion of a whole bunch of other ideas. And so I commend you guys for the work that you do. I saw it firsthand and I've witnessed many other opportunities since that time. And so again, just thank you. And I think more people need to learn about this. And I think it'd be great to have a whole conversation so people can tune in and change the way they think. Because I know your mom, Lisa, may not be a fan of cannabis. But I think when you go into the whole history of it, how it got demonized, like when people understand all of that, then you'll understand why we think about it, some of us, in a way that morally we think it's a bad thing. And
Well, it
it's
has a
so,
stigma attached to it, and that's because
exactly.
it well, because people were abusing it first of all, and just like alcohol. I mean, people can go and have one glass of wine and it's not going to kill them. But same thing happened with marijuana. They got stupid, they got lazy, they got complacent, and so everything comes from everything's got a place and a time. And as far as the patients go, we aren't allowed to say cure, treat, prevent, whatever like that. We know it doesn't cure cancer, but it causes the death of the cell that allows the cancer cells to grow. So we know this. We know that when a cell receptor, when a cannabinoid, a CB1 or CB2 cell is parked, we call it parking in the garage, it attaches to. So it's not a blocking mechanism, it's a binding mechanism. So when your physiology is deficient, it bridges the gap in that deficiency and brings everything back together in a homeostasis pattern. So it's a lot of us, as we get older, we become deficient in physiology, and it's our job to put it back together naturally, not synthetic drugs. A synthetic drug is going to block these cell receptor sites, and while you're trying to, and all it's going to do is clog them, block them. It's putting a Band-Aid on it, not helping it to release and or bring it back into its natural state. So with cannabinoids, another example is Remington, a little baby that, this brings tears to my eyes too. He had a diagnosis when he was out of the womb. One day out of the womb, it was called rhabdomyoma. And what they're rhabdos. Rhabdos are, let's call them tumors, growths on all the major organs in his body, his heart, his lungs, his liver, his everything. So he was out of the womb. The doctor said, he's not going to live to be 6 days, period. So start planning his funeral now. Because the tumors are going to grow faster than the organs, and they're going to suffocate each major organ, and he's just not going to live no matter what. So she actually works for us now. She's worked for us for 10 years. Little Remington is what, 10 now? He's 10 now. They said he was going to live 6 days, let alone 6 years. And now this little boy that we're still administering to every day is now almost 10 years old. So they gave him, he's on our website. The formulation that we were able to create through a multitude of cannabinoids. People think of THC. Well, THC is nothing. That's the D9 molecule. You've got D8, D9, CBD, CBG, CBDV. You've got hundreds of cannabinoids to pull from. And when you isolate each one and create one formula based on an intake or an algorithm, which we've done, I don't know how many thousands of algorithms now, but once you combine these isolated cannabinoids, pulling from hundreds of them, not just your main 5, CBN, CBG, CBC, CBD.
You want your Tweety? What's in my baby?
Yeah, I'll see your baby. Who was that? You're right. Anyway, what's important is that when you formulate for severe and chronic diagnosis, you have to know how to isolate the cannabinoid itself and what the ratio is based on their height, weight, diagnosis, what synthetic drugs they're taking, because the body can't metabolize synthetic drugs. So when you're faced with a patient that's sucking down opioids, when they get into opioid-induced hyperanalergia, it's making the opposite effect, and you can't treat them anyway, because everything's blocked. The cell receptor sites are blocked. So you got to bust tail to figure out how to unblock them before you can even bind them back together. It's a lot. It's a lot,
it's a lot. So I'm gonna bring a little clarity for the team here. So you guys, arachidonic acid, the cannabinoids is on that side, and CB1, CB2, those are receptors. And the one that gets my attention is 2-AG, which when it combines as a cannabinoid, it increases all the things that we don't want from a nutrition standpoint, like that over appetite, that desire to crave more. And all of this, either calming inflammation, which is what you're talking about, and what we are always looking at is what's driving inflammation. So on the omega-6 side, you definitely can calm inflammation, which is helpful to making it where the tumors and things don't grow and you have opportunity for those things to shrink. Whereas we spend most of our time looking at what's causing the drive of inflammation, which then progresses all of the negatives that people don't want.
Right.
So it's very, I mean, I'm a student, and I told Renee when I first met her, I was like, I want to learn more. I want to understand it more because it all ties into nutrition. Food is medicine, and it's part of that family.
Yep, 100%. And it's funny too with the I mean, it's not funny, but it works on so many different levels. Like you were mentioning, the little gal, hadn't laughed in a long time and she got hungry. Well, those things are super important. Just like it acts as the natural nausea medication for somebody that's going through chemotherapy, right? So it has such a magnitude of uses on the medicinal side. It can do extreme, like we do extreme and chronic and severe patients. And then you can also have the other side where, maybe they just need an appetite, for the good food, the nutrition. So there's just a multitude. I could talk for days.
Nice.
But yeah, it's a way to pay it forward. It's a philanthropy program. We don't charge for it. So we give back by doing the intake, using our laboratory resources to help people, guide people, be advocates at their side so they understand what their levels mean when they're reading their charts and they come back and they've got a marker that's, in the red and they need to have that analyzed. So we use that to pay it forward, and everything that's purchased on our website, those funds go toward those severe and chronic patients that otherwise wouldn't be able to afford natural medicine. So, Truth Serum and True Balance is a twofold company that every time somebody visits the website and makes a purchase, a percentage of that goes to our children and the veterans of war that have these kids with the epilepsy, Lisa, they want to fill them up with phenobarbital. And oh my gosh, I've seen so much. When in fact, you can formulate for that diagnosis. And a lot of times, like I said, they can't afford it. So we use the funds from the website to help fund their natural path, natural way. So.
Yeah, there's such a great need in that area. That's why I just keep going back to, I know this is just the whole skincare piece is just such low hanging fruit for you. And I'm sure that Robert feels that way, maybe and to some degree in your own space, Robert, that there's some things that you can touch on that are just such low hanging fruit for you. And then there's other things that seem like such big problems in the world to solve, and there's so many needs. There's needs not just in the epileptic community. Obviously, there is a lot of need in the epileptic community, but there's needs with diabetes. There's huge needs in that community. So I'm just glad we're having a discussion about it and that we're all here to learn together,
Yes, it's so interesting. And I'm just so thrilled to be on this journey. And I can't thank you guys again for having me. I'm happy to have discussions, any way to help shut down big pharma. Sorry, probably shouldn't have said that out loud, but in some cases they work hand in hand. Let's face it, they do. Some things are unavoidable. Well, I don't know of any yet, but I've heard that Western medicine works for some. I can't help it. Every time I see a patient, I see a list of drugs and I ask, why are you taking this? Who prescribed it to you? How long have you been on it? Has your dose changed in the last 5 years? Well, I don't know. I don't know why I'm taking it. I don't know what it's for. Well, why do you take it? Well, because he told me to. Well, ask him. Patients sometimes just need an advocate. Somebody there to say, hey, why are you doing this? Why are you putting this in your body? And has your dose increased? And why are you still taking it? I mean, I've seen the most absurd amount of synthetic drugs going into a body. I don't even know how they walk around or dress themselves, quite frankly, other than the fact that the analgesia sets in, right? So the opposite effect, comes to the table. It's just
it's funny that what you're saying. There are some things that I always acknowledge as a positive, like the discovery of insulin in 1921.
Right. Yeah.
When they don't overuse them, antibiotics can be helpful. But like I told my kids yesterday, I sent them a message. I said, we don't take flu vaccines.
Right.
We don't take vaccines. So I can show you the text. And then my kids are like, of course, Daddy.
That's
I said, how long has Daddy been around? And you never see me really get sick. And Daddy's never gotten the flu vaccine.
No.
Like we don't do that. Okay.
Exactly.
They don't allow that in the service.
Well,
Robert?
the last time I got I got anything, and I have it in my medical records, and I keep wanting to go back, is when I was 17 years old, and 18. I just turned 18, and I joined the U.S. Marine Corps. So if I did get a vaccine, it was then. If I did. But I can tell you since then, and every year when I was in the Marine Corps, I just would never get it. Yeah. It just never made sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like that whole thing of give your body a chance to fight it. That's basic biology you learn in 9th grade.
Oh my gosh.
And when the whole pandemic happened, right? And I'm watching people right now, just yesterday, I was in this meeting and we were all talking about different people we know, smart, intelligent, accomplished people. They're going in right now. You're getting the COVID shot. You're getting the flu shot. Huh?
Still? To this day?
Right now. Yes.
COVID shots?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You go in and you get the flu shot. They give them all to you at the same time.
Wow.
And then they say, let's schedule your mammogram.
Never had either. I've never had.
I bet you they have low glutathione.
They sure do.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's happening. Like, and today for the first time, and this is off topic, but it's not. I was watching, it popped up, Tucker Carlson had a guy on his show today, and I recommend everybody watch it, who actually could talk from a creditable standpoint about chemtrails.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was very well done. Because there's a lot of people talking about them, but sometimes the credibility's not there. And Tucker went deep on it with this guy.
Love that.
And there's some stuff going on, and I'm going to share some stuff in a couple more days about the GLP-1 drugs that's going to blow everybody's mind.
Wow.
Yep. So if you know anyone on any of those drugs, if you love them at all, beg them to get off of them.
Yeah. Wow.
What I find now, Robert, with that though, is that a lot of people, Robert, are getting so shameful of like even saying that they're on those drugs. So I think it's harder because there is such a stigma now. Like there's a stigma around epilepsy. There's a stigma around what Sheila's talking about with cannabis, right? And not wanting to like even talk about it in certain circles because there's so much judgment. I'm wondering if the same thing is happening with the GLP-1s. Do you find that people are open about even saying that they're on these drugs, Robert? Like, how do you even find people that are willing to even admit that they're on a GLP-1 for weight loss?
I can tell you, you know what? I can tell you this. I get messages on Facebook all the time from people who they come in soft and they go, hey, I'm on the GLP-1 drug. And they do it almost like they're embarrassed.
Yep.
And because they know my position with the GLP-1 drug, and I'm not here to judge anybody, but the reality is not a helpful thing. However, people are looking for hope, and that's where my empathy and compassion goes out to these people.
I haven't even gone in yet. No, we're not with it.
Can you mute Candace? Thank you.
I know, I'm on it.
So you guys, I just got a text from from I gotta share this because I get these text messages too. This is on a super happy fun note because, like I said, the Truth Serum is going viral. I mean, we've run out of inventory twice already, and it hasn't. I haven't even put it on Facebook yet. But so just the gentleman that I purchased the land from, he just sent me a text message just now, and he said, "I'm just checking on you, my dear. I'm hoping that you're warm and cozy," because he knows that I left Idaho for Arizona. He said, "My girls sure enjoy using all of your fine products. I heard Lee, that's his wife, telling her good friend last night all about it. She loves it. Hugs to you and Addie." Isn't that nice? I mean, just see out of the blue, he doesn't have to send me a text message saying how awesome our products are and how his wife loves them and stuff like that. But it's so nice to hear. And just they're coming in because it's just so random that I decided to mix a bunch of really wholesome, good, organic, vegan products in a bottle, and it came out just like that's what came out of my accident. You know, being able to launch something like this that people can enjoy for 4 months for what, $1 a day, less than that. It's just
Yeah, ladies. So Osra, no, I don't know if it's going to help you find a husband, and it doesn't come with a husband either. But I'm thinking, I can't wait till the day that I get a text. Oh my God, my cancer is cured. Oh my God, I have no more seizures.
Well, we get those too. We get those too, Lisa. We get those too.
Yes,
like
you
I
do.
said, Remington is alive and well, and his rabbits are gone, and we have made a huge, well, you know, the philanthropy program that we have.
Yeah, you're doing so many amazing things, and we're
And
so grateful for this time
January
today.
is our 20-year anniversary just in True Balance alone.
Yeah,
so amazing.
You know what? We could go on with this conversation for the rest of the night. And you know, it's like, wow, what an incredible and insightful discussion. We've actually talked about quite a few topics. You know what? For everyone on the call, it is posted in the chat. If you want to go get that bundle. You know what? It's such an amazing item. I love it. I really do love it. I got to get my rose water though. We appreciate you joining us tonight. We want to make sure that you stay connected, stay balanced. And you know what? Check that website out. You know, contact us. If you need information, we can get you information. We can direct you where to go. Renee, myself, and Lisa are available to you 24/7. That's how it's been going. Lisa, much. Renee, I know you're a little under the weather, but any last thoughts, Lisa?
Nope, not for me. Just looking forward to all the great work that we're going to do. Renee Rand, I hope you feel better, honey, and I love you. Get some rest tonight. We have another call at 5 o'clock. Talking about the terrible 10s. Ladies, we want you to be cooking for your family healthy so you're not killing your family in the kitchen.
Sheila, thank you so much for being with us here on Power Hour. Robert,
thanks for having me. Love you guys.
Yes,
love you too. Thank you, everybody who's been on the call and attended this evening. I hope everybody has a great evening. Good night. Same place, same time next week.
Okay, we'll